but this was a defensive war. Napoleon Kaufman on the special teams makes a mistake here. The Josh Miller punt, what a great job he did all day. Kaufman goes back, fumbles it. The ball kicked, Wildcats recover it. It's not a touchdown. You can't advance a muff, and that would be critical because on third down, George Malaulu rolls out, just drops the football. Washington recovers. Wildcats can't cash in. More trouble for Kaufman, meanwhile, in the second quarter. Mistakes, the order of the day in the first half. He coughs up the ball. Arizona recovers. It would set up a field goal. Steve McLaughlin makes it 3-0 Wildcats. Washington driving late first half. Brunell to Jason Shelley in the end zone. Right through his hands. More mistakes for the Huskies. Have had a lot of distractions this week. Then the field goal, the bad snap. The misfire. 3-0 Cats at halftime. In the second half, it's 6-3 Arizona. Mark Brunell fumbles the snap. Leads to another field goal, 9-3 Arizona. Then Brunell driving the Huskies. Intercepted by Keshawn Johnson on the big hit. That Wildcat aggressive defense forcing mistakes all day. The fans just couldn't wait to celebrate here. Malaulu on the keeper gets in the end zone, and then before time ran out, Arizona fans would storm the field. They ripped down the goalposts. It's sweet in Tucson after two lopsided losses to the Huskies, 16-3. They knocked two #1 teams down by scaring Miami and now beating Washington. They came within a few feet on a field goal of beating both of them, Lee. For visiting teams, no longer. Jamie Howard in a quarterback and in a long day for the Tiger offense. The option pitch fumbled by Robert Davis. Lamansky hauls on it for Alabama, one of 3 Tiger turnovers in the first half. That sets up Derek Lassick. Bama up 17-5 at halftime. Tigers got a safety. In the second half, a different running back. Sherman Williams dances through the Tiger defense, 24 yards for the touchdown, and then gets up and dances in the end zone. Alabama wins it 31-11. And Williams had a couple of touchdown runs, also had a 1-yard prance, and Alabama subdues LSU to stay undefeated. A&M trying to stay undefeated at home against Louisville. Howard Schnellenberger's team never beaten a top 5 opponent. One guy Louisville couldn't stop, Greg Hill. Nice cuts here. 32-yard touchdown scamper. Aggies up 21-6. Hill with all 3 of those first touchdowns. Then Hill's running mate, Rodney Thomas, got into the act. He also had a good ball game. Busted up the middle. Good blocking. High steps, 27 yards to the end zone. 33-12 Aggies in the third quarter. Aggie defense, as usual, tough. Marcus Buckley blows through, fights off his man. Drops Jeff Brome for the sack right there. Texas A&M wins it going away 40-18 to move to 9-0. 3 hurdles left to get to the Cotton Bowl, undefeated on New Year's Day. Boston College and Notre Dame. Lou Holtz and Tom Coughlin meeting in the only 2 Catholic schools still playing 1A football. Scoreless game, but Notre Dame's first possession. Rick Meyer to Lee Becton on the play action. 7-zip.
Watch this play. Lee Becton, number 4, will go at the outside linebacker like he's going to block him, but then he slips into the flat and he's wide open for a touchdown. A nice play because it was the man who was supposed to cover him.
And more play actually on the Irish second possession. Swinging out of the backfield, Jerome Bettis takes it. Nice moves in the secondary. 37-yard touchdown makes it 14-0. It's 28-0. They scored in the first 4 possessions. And then Reggie Brooks, just trying to run out the clock, goes 73 yards on 3rd and 20. The BC lads play tough, but a little bit outmanned by the Irish today. And so after halftime, Georgia Tech comes out to play the second half. Now, just kidding. They were shooting a movie today, a true life story set back in '75. And there's the Panaflex cameras capturing it. 54-7. Notre Dame lays it on BC. The first loss for the Irish is Rick Meyer. 180 yards, 3 touchdown passes on the day. And Reggie Brooks had a big ball game. Carried the ball 18 times, 174 yards. And the 2 touchdowns, the Irish just rolled over the Eagles. Speaking of rolling, Michigan and Northwestern and Evanston. 14-7 second quarter. Wolverines up. And Elvis Gerbach back to pass. Plenty of time. This is just too easy. Derek Alexander beats the safety man. 57-yard touchdown. Alexander with 3 touchdowns. And Michigan rolls 40-7. The Wolverines stay unbeaten. 8-0-1. Elvis Gerbach had 3 touchdown passes, teaming with Tyrone Wheatley and Alexander, who also had big ball games. Wheatley rushes for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Alexander, 3 receptions, all of them for touchdowns, totaling 91 yards. Had not won a game in the conference. Longhorns, Horned Frogs, and Horned Sections. A lot of horns. TCU 7-zip in the first half. Leon Clay to Steve Shipley on the slant, 14-0. Then TCU punting. Brady Cavness casually goes after the ball. What's he doing? Bats it out of the end zone. They confer. It's a safety, 16-7 TCU leading. Second half at 16-14. Gardere trying to bring the Longhorns back, but throws right into coverage here, Craig.
Well, there's 7 men deep. There's going to be inside-outside coverage on the slot receivers. Gardere, 1 of 4 interceptions today, and that's why TCU won the game.
It was Tony Rand, not Randall, but Rand. 23-16. Then with 40 seconds remaining, the Horned Frogs kneel on it. Pat Sullivan, his first career Southwest Conference win, 23-14 over Texas. Texas loses for the first time in the conference. And TCU, well, Pat Sullivan was 8 years old the last time they beat Texas at home. Look at seeing Clemson today. Clemson has struggled, but they really unloaded on the Tar Heels today. That's Patrick Sapp to Terry Smith, 10-zip Tigers. But some bad news for Carolina here. In the first half, Natrone Means catches the pass, but he's injured. Bruised ribs, he would not return. 2 carries, 1 yard, and pretty much ended the ball game. Fourth quarter, though, Sapp goes back. Clemson rubbing it in. Marcus Hinton, no call on the contact here. 51-yard touchdown pass, 33-7 Clemson. Sapp, 13 of 23, 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rodney Blunt ran for 3 touchdowns as Clemson goes to 5-4 to keep their bowl hopes alive. And close games. Florida State had already clinched the league title. Today, though, they just unloaded on the Terrapins. Maryland would not play anybody close today. Charlie Ward did it all. First quarter, scoreless game, pulls the ball down, just kind of cruises into the end zone here, 8 yards, 7-zip. In the second quarter, it's already 21-7. Ward will roll out. Kes McCorvey breaks deep here. 35-yard touchdown pass. He can run. He hits the receiver in stride. And watch this play. Ward throws it to Shannon Baker. Watch what happens to Ward at the top of your screen. He gets flattened, Craig.
He's flattened, he's knocked down, but Charlie Ward shows he could play a wide receiver. This is a great athlete that continues to improve as a football player, not just a basketball man.
To Merrick Vanover, the freshman, 7 catches, 107 yards. Florida State, 10 touchdowns in 11 possessions against the Terrapins. And take a look at Ward. 13 yards short of a school record. They miscounted in the press box. They took him out. They didn't realize he was short of the record. 394 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Southern Miss taking on Florida today. Jeff Bauer trying to break Steve Spurrier's home winning streak. He'd never lost at home. Second quarter, Florida up 17-3. Matthews picked off by, where was he throwing the ball? Here goes Perry Carter, his 5th interception of the year. He's brought 3 of them back for touchdowns. Matthews' first pick at 123 passes. 17-10 at that point. Yeah, that says it all for Spurrier. But the first play of the fourth quarter, Tommy Waters puts the Eagles in front. Mark Montgomery in the end zone. It's 20-17. Are they on the verge of upsetting another SEC team? Spurrier watches his team, though, take the next kickoff and go right down the field, 77 yards. Eric Wright caps it. The Eagles with a chance here, but Waters, the desperation pass, batted down by Ben Hanks, and Florida with a comeback victory, 24-20. They move it to 6-2. Matthews, 22 of 39, 317 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Take a look at his day. Matthews coming alive against Georgia last week and keeping the roll going as Florida survived barely. NC State taking on Virginia. First quarter, Wolfpack up. The option here, Anthony Barber takes the pitch. Watch the cuts here. He weaves through a Cavalier defense that was just shredded in the first half here, right into the lacrosse box. There he goes, and on into the end zone. 59 yards, Wolfpack up 17-0. Third quarter, it's 17-7. Terry Jordan finds a seam in the zone. Reggie Lawrence is there, hits him in stride, takes it 65 yards, and NC State goes into Charlottesville and clobbers Virginia 31-7. The Cavaliers dropping to 6-4. They still have, they're not a lock for a bowl. They still have the Hokies to come up. Anthony Barber, over 1,000 yards for the season now, 21 carries, 107 yards, and he had a touchdown. Arkansas and Mississippi State. Adams picking off Aaron Ferguson on the last drive to seal it. An ugly fight, a brawl breaks out between the teams. The players, some kicking, some punching. The state police finally go in there to break things up. South Carolina wins the ball game 14-13. Aaron Ferguson had 4 interceptions for La Tech, and the Gamecocks moved to 4-5. They won 4 straight since the players voted Sparky Woods should resign. San Diego State and Wyoming. Marshall Faulk on a muddy track in Laramie trying to get things going. Third quarter, 10-6. Cowboys run the reverse. Ryan Yarborough takes the handoff, pulls up and throws. Eric Edmond pulls it in. 35-yard touchdown. Cowboys up 17-6. Falk got it done, but not in spectacular fashion. Up the middle, this one just a 3-yard run, and then on the sweep, Wyoming strings it out pretty well. Falk can't turn the corner. He did rush for 127 yards, but on 33 carries and a damaging blow, San Diego State loses their second WAC loss, so Y in control of the WAC now for the first place.